National Assembly approves $23 billion budget. Vendor raised concerns over high prices of fruits and vegetables. Vultures discovered feasting on decomposed woman's body. In the region, nearing 600,000 COVID deaths in the US and internationally, ICC prosecutors seek full probe into Duterte'S drug war killing. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Backus. Thank you for joining us. On Monday, the National Assembly approved the passage of $23 billion to be used for a series of relief measures. The funds were approved under two financial papers presented by the senior minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Dr. Ashley Singh. The funds will be spent on addressing several key issues, including the ongoing floods, the purchase of more COVID-19 vaccines, and the execution of much-needed repairs to the Demerara Harbor Bridge and increased support for the Guyana Sugar Corporation. The House cleared a sum of $10 billion, which will be spent on intensifying the government's relief effort as it relates to flooding, particularly for the provision of food, sanitary, and medical supplies to those affected areas. The supplemental funds for the flooding will also facilitate the execution of critical emergency repairs to many public infrastructures such as roads and bridges that have been destroyed by unprecedented levels of floodwaters. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips informed the National Assembly that the government's flood response is being rolled out in phases and that the recovery phase will cater to the rebuilding of livelihoods and communities in a way that mitigates disaster. Vendors at Border Market are concerned about the loss of revenue as a result of customers' evaluation of their goods as too expensive. Esther Sobers took our cameras to Border Market and found this report.
How this thing affecting is because the flood, you know? And this here affecting we bad.
Almost every Guyanese can attest that the price of food items are rising daily. Many have been vocal about the steadily climbing prices to purchase fruits and vegetables to help maintain a healthier lifestyle, which now comes at a high cost. Headlining spoke to a few vendors at the border market who have attributed the cost of high prices to the recent flooding and several other reasons which affect the country.
1 pound of shallot is $1,000. What you gonna sell it for to make a profit? 1 pound of celery is $1,200. Wholesale attack it. A bundle of board is $1,200 and $1,000. How people gonna eat?
Has this affected the sales of business?
Yep.
Well, yes, but cabbage is $300 pound sale. And sometimes when you cut the cabbage, I set the brown leaf inside. Warm, whole, that kind of thing.
Sweet pepper 1,000 a pound, too.
1,000 a pound for sweet pepper wholesale.
How long do you think this may last for? Because it's not something new that would happen in the market.
As soon as the PPP government comes out.
This got to take a course because the people got to plan back. When the water run off, they got to plan back. This oil causing a lot of worries. The mango would pull out from the place, causing a lot of problems. Because you pull out the mango tree, and then when they dig in the oil, they got to drill down more, they're causing a lot of worries.
While rising prices are nothing new when it comes to the cost of fruits and vegetables, the vendors are concerned about the economy as they also lament about other items are on the rise since the pandemic occurred and many people have challenges to afford basic food items.
I think the Minister of Agriculture needs to look into this and do something about it because the price range, we got to cater for poor people, you understand? It's only poor people do come to the market. All the rich people, they go into the supermarket and shop. So they need to do something about the price. And I'm calling up on Guyana President Efren Halley to look into this. Thank you.
So what are the people saying when they come to shop? What are some of the comments you would hear?
Some of the that's so much. Some of them walk away. They're going to eat curry. They're going to eat peas and cook up. They're not eat greens. And if they don't buy the load gonna left and we got trade by next day.
And it's a decline in sales at the moment.
Yeah, people are already buying.
Many are awaiting the price for food items to decline, whilst others suggest this is the perfect time to grow your food. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The National Assembly earlier today passed a motion to remove the former APNU-AFC Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson as the chairman of the Public Accounts Committee. The motion was tabled by the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, Gail Teixeira. In her contribution, the minister recalled that Mr. Patterson was nominated and declared PAC chairman on December 28, 2020. The motion was passed by a vote of 34 to 31. During the sixth meeting of the committee on February 2021, following the exposure of findings of the Auditor General's report of 2016, Teixeira had moved a motion calling for Patterson to resign as the PAC chairman. Recognizant of those findings, Minister Teixeira said it was inappropriate for Patterson to continue as the chairman. The opposition has accused the government of trying to remove Patterson to install a chairman favorable to them, but noted the chairman of the PAC has to come from the main opposition. Opposition Member of Parliament Royce Ford described the motion as misconceived and downright silly, pointing out that the standing order do not provide for the removal of a chair of the PAC. Stick around, we've got more news for you after the break.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Here's what's happening on Waterloo Street at John Lewis Styles during the month of June. Shop for Father's Day and you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Arrow Point Nature Resort. Buy any men's suit and get a free tie, or buy any men's pair of shoes and get a free pair of socks. Traveling this summer? Buy any luggage set and get a free travel pouch. Visit us on Waterloo Street for more choices and better prices. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on BACKDAM and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money,
you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Close to an hour of downpour earlier today have caused areas in Georgetown to be flooded. Heavy rains in recent weeks have partially submerged many areas of the country, causing people to lose their homes and livelihood. President Irfan Ali has officially declared Guyana to be in a state of disaster under the ongoing floods. He said that the flooding currently occurring across Guyana is one of the worst disasters the country has ever faced, and projected that it will take some time for the country to recover once the situation has abated.
Meetings this weekend with the banking system, and what I will also do is ask that we meet with the big millers and the great creditors, and we work out to see how they can help, how the government and these people can work together, but that will come after the assessment. We have to understand what is the total picture, the macro picture. We can't speak in isolation.
The Guyana Hydrometeorological Service has announced that the current heavy, persistent rain may not end until mid-July to August, with the National Weather Center warning that there could be more heavy rains and thunderstorms. An old woman in decomposition was found, taken apart by vultures in Perseverance BACKDAM. More from Esther Sobers.
Police are investigating the death of 97-year-old Ruby Williams of Perseverance BACKDAM, which occurred sometime between June 10th and June 13th, 2021. Police noted that the deceased refused to stay with relatives and instead chose to live alone in a camp at Perseverance BACKDAM. Williams was last seen on June 10th around 2 p.m. walking alone along the BACKDAM in the direction of her camp. On June 13th, it was noticed that vultures were devouring something on the trail at Perseverance BACKDAM. Upon closer examination, what appeared to be a decomposed body was recognized. When police arrived on the scene, because of the advanced state of the decomposition of the body, they could not transport it to the mortuary for storage for a post-mortem examination. A grave was dug and the body was buried for a possible exhumation. It was also impossible to notice if there was any marks of violence on the body. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. On Monday, around 8:15 p.m., an aircraft was observed circling the Bissarini Trail 12 miles east of Kokwani. It subsequently landed and was discovered burned. Ranks from Canoe and the joint services have since located the burnt-out Cessna 206 aircraft with no trail of illicit drugs or burnt bodies. They are examining it for further information. A search is underway to find its occupants. The Guyana Police Force has set up roadblocks to apprehend people of interest. Should anyone have information regarding the event, they must contact the nearest police station. Meanwhile, another aircraft was seen flying over southern Guyana yesterday. Canoe and the GPF attempted to intercept it, but it eventually landed in Suriname. Surinamese officials were alerted and managed to arrive on site and subsequently seized more than 400 kilos of cocaine. Just last month, Guyana authorities apprehended a plane carrying 450 kilos of cocaine near the indigenous village of Oriala. The two occupants of the aircraft claimed to be on their way to Suriname to deliver a shipment of magnesium. However, the cargo turned out to be filled with drugs. A 44-year-old man was on Monday found guilty by a 12-member jury on 2 counts of rape of a child under 16 years of age. Imtiaz Mohammed, called Uncle Shamir of Success, East Coast Demerara, appeared before Justice Brassington Reynolds at the Demerara High Court and pleaded not guilty to the charges. Between September 2014 and January 2015, Imtiaz sexually penetrated the victim. During the time of the incident, Mohammed, who was operating a school bus that transported the teen to school and back home, took the teen to a dark, bushy area and raped her. He threatened her if she told anyone, he would end his own life and hers. Back in 2018, while the teen's mother was away, Mohammed visited her home, giving her a letter. He threatened to kill her if she told anyone of the letter. She eventually related the incident to her brother, which led to his arrest. Mohammed will return to court for sentencing on July 2, 2021. Don't go away. After the break, we have your regional and international news.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on BACKDAM and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Here's what's happening on Waterloo Street at John Lewis Styles during the month of June. Shop for Father's Day and you could win an all-inclusive trip for two to Arrow Point Nature Resort. Buy any men's suit and get a free tie, or buy any men's pair of shoes and get a free pair of socks. Traveling this summer? Buy any luggage set and get a free travel pouch. Visit us on Waterloo Street for more choices and better prices. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. The coronavirus pandemic has claimed more lives in the US than in any other country in the world. And on Monday, the US appeared set to reach yet another grim new milestone as the death toll approached 600,000, according to a tally by Johns Hopkins University. Al Jazeera's Mike Hanna reports.
As the number of deaths neared 600,000, members of Congress gathered at the Capitol. In this divided institution, a rare moment of bipartisanship as Democrats and Republicans came together to remember the country's dead. The number of fatalities in the US accounts for some 15% of the reported total worldwide. This week, there were 25,000 cases reported each day, 57% lower than the figure a month ago.
There's still too many lives being lost. We're still averaging the last 7 days loss of 370 deaths per day. 370 deaths, that's significantly lower than at the peak of this crisis, but it's still a real tragedy. We're approaching a sad milestone, almost 600,000 lost lives because of COVID-19 in America.
Just under 50% of Americans are fully vaccinated, but there's a marked disparity in terms of vaccination figures. The top 5 states with vaccination rates of 60% or over are all in the East. The bottom 5 with rates of 30% or lower are in the South. With Republicans controlling the bottom states, it's clear there's a political as well as geographical divide. And the vice president went to South Carolina as the administration tries to ratchet up vaccinations in areas that are lagging.
The vaccines, let me say it again, are safe. They are safe. And they are free. And they are effective. And it is that simple.
The Biden administration had targeted a national 70% vaccination rate by July the 4th, Independence Day. But even as the nation mourns, that target and the herd immunity it could promise appears to be increasingly unattainable. Mike Hanna, Al Jazeera, Washington.
And internationally, Human Rights Watch says the United Nations improperly collected and shared data from more than 800,000 Rohingya refugees with their host country Bangladesh, which passed it on to Myanmar, the country they fled, and is calling for an investigation. Al Jazeera's Mohammed Jamjamoon reports.
The UN says registering refugees is critical to ensuring they get assistance and protection. 800,000 Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh gave personal information, including fingerprints, to the UNHCR beginning in 2017. Now, Human Rights Watch says that information was improperly handled and shared with Myanmar.
When they had their data taken by UNHCR, this was part of a more general registration process by the UN agency to give them access to the most basic and essential services once they had arrived in Bangladesh, and what the government in Bangladesh issued for each of them, which is this smart card with some biometric information attached to it. And in the context of that, UNHCR decided to also register these individuals for their data to be sent to Myanmar. Now, what we found in our interviews is that the people we spoke to, all except one, had never even been asked by UNHCR staff when being registered in the field whether they agreed to having their data shared with Myanmar.
The UNHCR has strongly denied any wrongdoing. It insists consent was obtained from the refugees at least twice, adding that when UNHCR and the government of Bangladesh signed their Memorandum of Understanding on data sharing in January 2018 and organized their joint registration exercise of Rohingya refugees, specific measures were taken to mitigate potential risks. Al Jazeera has reached out to the governments of Bangladesh and Myanmar for comment, but received no reply. In 2017, Myanmar's military launched a violent crackdown against the Rohingya in Rakhine State. The UN called it a textbook example of ethnic cleansing. More than 700,000 Rohingya escaped across the border to southwestern Bangladesh. According to Human Rights Watch, during the refugee registration process, some Rohingya even raised concerns their data would be used to send them back to Myanmar. The government of Bangladesh has repeatedly stated that repatriations would only be carried out on a voluntary basis. UNHCR says it will assist refugee returns if they are voluntary and when conditions are favorable for a safe and sustainable return, which is not the case at the moment. But for the Rohingya, considered one of the world's most persecuted minorities, the worries are constant. And they're not likely to ease in the wake of a new report calling into question who may have had access to their personal information. Mohammed Jamjoom, Al Jazeera.
And finally, the outgoing prosecutor of the International Criminal Court has sought authorization from the Hague Tribunal to open a full investigation into Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte's so-called war on drugs that has killed thousands of people, including innocent children. Al Jazeera's Jamila Alden Dogan reports.
On her last day as International Criminal Court prosecutor, Fatou Bensouda requested authorization to formally investigate Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte for possible crimes against humanity. It's a farewell move that families of many of those killed in the so-called war on drugs are grateful for. Since 2018, Duterte's policy has been subjected to preliminary examination. The International Criminal Court has been analyzing a large amount of public information in addition to the complaints and supplementary reports submitted by international rights groups and lawyers here representing families. Prosecutor Bensouda says her examination found that extrajudicial killings in the Philippines have mostly been state-sanctioned. Since Duterte took office as president in 2016, thousands of Filipinos have been killed. The government puts the number at around 7,000, but rights groups believe deaths in police-related anti-drug operations may reach nearly 30,000.
It brings the message that from the top down, whether directly or indirectly, you participated, goaded, induced, justified, encouraged, covered up, in whatever way, you may be liable.
The Philippines has formally withdrawn as a signatory to the Rome Statute, and the government has repeatedly said it will not take part in any ICC proceedings.
The decision to move forward into a formal investigation stage is legally erroneous, politically motivated.
But what is clear now is that a unilateral withdrawal will not prevent the chamber from continuing to look into possible crimes.
He has been belittling this institution for so long, but what we believe, it just masks his insecurity. Actually, deep down, I think he believes that the ICC as an institution has the capacity to enforce its decisions.
The government says it regrets the actions taken by Prosecutor Bensouda and that the Justice Department here continues to reinvestigate cases of fatalities in drug-related operations. But for the families of the victims, the ICC move provides a sliver of hope that there is an alternative venue for justice, especially, they say, when their own justice system in the country has failed them. Jamela Alindogan, Al Jazeera, Manila.
That is all for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Wednesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.